Are you ready to finally get started when it comes to AI? In this video, I'm going to walk you guys through how to actually get started in AI and where to get started with your life. This is coming from someone who is an AI consultant who has been using AI for the last almost 2 years now, and every single part of my life, every single day, probably every other hour, I'm using AI in one way or the other. So I want to walk you through the process of how to do that for yourself. And of course, if you do want a little bit of expanded and guided coaching, I do have a consulting, as you can go ahead and book a free discovery call with me and I will walk you through on how to get started. So first of all is, what is AI? If you still have not been able to fully explore, whether just time constraint or everything louder than everything else, or just a little bit of the overwhelm that comes within the research and the topic of AI, let me make that simpler for you. Now, I actually went ahead and asked ChatGPT, how would you explain AI to someone who doesn't know what it is? And I'm actually gonna just have ChatGPT read aloud what it responded to me.
Simple explanation. AI, or artificial intelligence, is like having a very smart computer that can think and learn like a human.
And to be honest, that's kind of the easiest way to explain it. Imagine that all of the world's knowledge was put into this box of anything from history, sometimes kind of the current things that are happening, as well as kind of the nuances and stories from other people as well. Basically everything that's been posted online and is live, put into this little box that anytime that you ask it a question, it would respond as basically as it predicts that it thinks that you need. So if you ask AI like, hey, what is 1 + 1? It'll answer with 2. If you give it a more complicated equation, it might not answer the same way. Or if you ask it to break down history for you, or you can go all the way to asking it to create a routine for you based on the question that you ask it. Basically, how smart you can be with the questions that you ask for it, or how specific you could be, the better its answers are going to be, custom to what it is that you asked for. It is something that can learn from data and can get better every single time. This is basically, at this point, it will just get better. So if you still haven't got it into yet, let me walk you through how to do it. So I have been using AI in the last 2 years, one, to write and create content. So anytime that I have a little writer's block, which I do still have from time to time, or try to generate script basically for YouTube content, or I want to find more unique ways to create content for you guys, I just asked ChatGPT because I have an AI assistant for that. I've also used it to create assets for my business, create assets for myself, things like email templates, center break procedures, policies within the company. I've used it, of course, for brainstorming ideas. If we have a new project in the company or a business idea that I do want to add into the business, I have that already lined up. And of course, when it comes to upgrading the business, I've also used ChatGPT. I've pasted basically, hey, this is the current process that we have. This is what I want to happen. How would that look like? So I basically kind of have ChatGPT as a little bit of my strategic consultant to kind of go back and forth and brainstorm how I want things to look like. So that has been one of the bajillion ways that I've used ChatGPT in the last about 18 months, probably a little bit more now. So let me go through the basics with you. First is I want to go through prompting versus code versus no code. And these are the 3 kind of usual natural things that people have been using ChatGPT or any other AI so far. So prompting is basically the AI is already there, you're just asking it questions. And that's where prompt engineering comes in, is you basically learn how to prompt better and better every single time so you can get the right results that you need from the AI. So it's just, again, asking it questions, inputting, being more specific. So for example, for me, I went ahead and actually asked ChatGPT to create a nutrition plan for myself. So I gave it like, hey, this is my weight. These are the diets that I started before but didn't really work out. I need something sustainable. This is, my restrictions. I can't have gluten, I can't have dairy, blah, blah, blah. So I put it all on a list. So then for ChatGPT, because I was very specific, it was able to give me a very specific plan on how to move forward. So that's what I mean by learning how to prompt, getting better at it. Now, code is mostly used by data scientists, by programmers. It is essentially creating your own AI. It might be that you are using some sort of bridge basically between your AI and an AI that's already existing. So that kind of bridge is a little bit of a good in-between to get the results that you would want every single time. Writing custom algorithms for specific tasks. And you do have full customization on the AI models. Now, when it comes to no no-code automations or no-code AI, you're going to be using tools like Make.com or Zapier, where they already have the things kind of set up. You just have to link A plus B equals C kind of things. For example, we have an automation that whenever we have a new client within 2XU, they have a set rows of emails that they're going to be sent to that'll be custom depending on where they're at. So let's say we are onboarding a client next week, Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday they have emails that are arriving before their onboarding on Monday. Same thing, if they have an onboarding on Friday, they're going to have specific emails basically sent on specific times and days depending on how we basically set up that automation. We also have an automation for our sales pipeline of how people are being reached out to, responded to, how we're gathering the data to make sure that we're targeting the right target audience. This is all built within Make.com. So depending on how you want to explore, this is kind of honestly the next level part of AI after prompting, is you're learning how to connect one place to the other to make your life easier. As another really good example, you could have a no-code AI where it auto-responds things for you on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. It goes ahead and sends people messages depending on how they react or how they do things. So it doesn't have to be just you. AI is basically taking care of it and making it automated for you. So how do you actually get started on AI? Where do you even stand and how to move forward? So first is I do recommend listing out the recurring things that happen in your life or your business or your career, whatever that looks like for you. So let's say I gave it a few examples already of, let's say for sales, right? For automation, for outbound, reaching out to people maybe on LinkedIn, maybe on email, you can go ahead and start writing out hey, what's the usual process for this? Okay, we look up a list of people on LinkedIn. Okay, we got that. Can we grab their email? And then we go ahead and grab their email. That takes about 10 to 30 minutes to even just go ahead and grab 5 people's emails. Then it's verifying if they have a website, for example, because a website is a good indication for us that they're an actual business owner. So there's different things that manually would take us about 6 to 8 hours in a day to be able to get done that AI can do in a few minutes or at the maximum in an hour. So those are the things that you want to look out for of what are the recurring things that need to get done in the business, maybe the daily, the weekly, the monthly tasks, quarterly. Maybe it's putting together all of your reports in one place so then it's easy to understand, and AI will even go ahead and create a summary out of it. Or it can be in your day-to-day. You are making sure that by the time that you wake up, you have an automation basically set up to play your favorite song, and you also have it set up where it can open up your journal already on your computer so you can actually start working. Or it might be a meditation app basically that you have already set up that will turn on the moment that you wake up. You just press a button on your phone. It already is set up as an automation for you. Of course, for me, for my own automations, I do have an automation for setting up my journal every single day, just like my example. I also have an automation to remind me to stand up or at least go for a walk once a day and be able to check it off on my own. So I have different things that make my life a little bit easier just because I've added a little bit of AI into them. Once you've done that, you want to start identifying the AI assistants that you want to create. I've given a few examples already of essentially what would it look like if I had this AI assistant already set up for me. And if you have no idea what an AI assistant is, first and foremost, it is basically a set AI that you have for different tasks, especially recurring tasks in your business. So again, for example, for me, I have an AI assistant for YouTube content. I have an AI assistant for writing out the LinkedIn post from the YouTube content. So basically have different mini-me's is one of the ways that I think about them. I have basically mini-me's that I have trained up in the way that I think, in my own preferences basically. So then anytime that I would need to repeat the same task or the same outcome or output, I have an AI assistant ready for that. And the biggest thing that I think a lot of people still miss is to treat it as a habit. It can be so tempting to just do it yourself, but as you treat it as a habit where I know that if this task comes up, I'm going to have my AI automation take care of it. If this task comes up, I'm going to ask my AI assistant to be able to do it. So it doesn't have to always just be me, because the point is to make my life easier. So I'm having AI make my life easier. So that's kind of the point of it, is to make it a habit in your day-to-day, in your week-to-week, until you get to the point where you're actually really comfortable with having things kind of happen without you. And that is kind of the magic of having AI in your career or your business. Other, of course, tidbits is keep learning from others. There's so many people who have more in-depth examples of how they're using AI. One person I recommend is my co-founder, Gary Tate. You can check out his YouTube channel, and he basically goes through how to set up some of these automations as well. And there's a ton of other creators, a ton of other influencers as well who are in this space. So I really want you guys to go ahead and start looking at them, looking at basically people who might be living the same life as you and seeing how they've added AI to their life. And of course, keep experimenting. Like I said, AI will just get better and better from here. Basically, last year when it came out, that was the worst that it could be. And now it's going to just keep getting better and better as people keep innovating, people keep finding other ways to be able to use it. And it doesn't have to be this big, scary thing. It can be something that makes your life just a little bit simpler. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there. Comment below if you have any questions about AI and how to use it, and I might make a whole video out of it. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!